Hi everyone, and welcome back to a new story. Japan is often seen as one of the safest countries in the world, but even in the safest places, monsters can hide in plain sight. Today's story is one of Japan's most chilling true crimes, a case that still haunts people to this very day. This is the terrifying story of Tsutomu Miyazaki, the man history remembers as the Otaku Killer.
Tsutomu Miyazaki was born in 1962 in the city of Itsukaichi near Tokyo. He came into the world with deformed hands. His wrists were fused to his forearms, making him unable to bend them properly. Children at school mocked him, and even his family treated him like an outcast. Lonely and rejected, Miyazaki retreated into his own dark world. He found comfort not in friends or family, but in horror films, violent comics, and disturbing pornography. As the years passed, his obsession grew stronger. Reality faded. Fantasy consumed him, and eventually, his dark fantasies spilled into the real world. In August 1988, Miyazaki spotted a 4-year-old girl playing alone near her home. He lured her away, took her to his car, and strangled her to death. But the horror did not end there. Miyazaki hid her body in the hills. Days later, he returned, not to bury her with respect, but to mutilate the remains. He even kept parts of her body as trophies. This was only the beginning.
Over the next year, Miyazaki's darkness only deepened. He sought out 3 more victims, each one incredibly young and vulnerable. The way he approached them was always the same: a quiet smile, a false sense of safety, and then silence. What he did afterward was so disturbing that even hardened investigators struggled to put it into words. The details were never fully shared with the public, but those who saw the evidence said it revealed something far beyond ordinary cruelty. And yet, what horrified the nation the most was not the crimes themselves, but what came after.
Miyazaki began sending letters to the families of his victims. They weren't apologies. They weren't explanations. They were confessions, cold, detailed descriptions of what he had done to their children. Imagine receiving a postcard with words carved into it, telling you exactly how your child had died. That was the kind of cruelty Miyazaki inflicted, not only on the victims, but on their grieving families. By now, Japan was living in fear. Parents refused to let their children play outside. The press called him the little girl murderer. The monster was still out there, and no one knew who he was.
In July 1989, Miyazaki made a mistake. He was caught trying to lure 2 sisters into his car. Their father intervened, and Miyazaki fled, but police quickly tracked him down. When investigators entered his home, they were horrified. Stocked from floor to ceiling were over 6,000 videotapes, horror films, violent pornography, and recordings of his crimes. The walls of his home seemed to breathe evil. The private world of Tsutomu Miyazaki had finally been exposed.
During questioning, Miyazaki was cold and detached. At times, he blamed an alternate personality, a rat man inside him, claiming it was this creature that pushed him to kill. But to the public, his excuses didn't matter. What they saw was pure evil. His trial lasted years, with endless debates about his mental state. But in the end, the court declared him sane and fully responsible for his actions. The sentence was death.
On June 17, 2008, Tsutomu Miyazaki was executed by hanging. But his shadow still lingers. His crimes left scars on Japan that will never truly heal. Parents still whisper his name as a warning. His story remains a reminder that sometimes the most terrifying monsters
are not ghosts or demons, but ordinary men.
And that was the story of Tsutomu Miyazaki, a man whose shadow still lingers in Japan's darkest history. Evil like this doesn't just vanish, it leaves scars. If you made it this far, you're brave enough to face the next chilling tale. Make sure to subscribe, because what's coming next may haunt you even more.